Welcome to I'm a Recruiter podcast. I'm your host, Prafula Deori. I'm a Recruiter is a community created by and for TA professionals. Our vision is to build a leading global community for TA professionals, and our mission is to help 100K TA professionals grow from their traditional recruiter role to a trusted talent advisor. So, I'm Recruiter. We are basically trying to build a community which feels like a safe home. When you're talking to anyone within the community, you should be well connected. We can learn, we can share, we can grow together. So we are just trying to build a community, strong community. If you like our content, useful, and if you feel that it's helping you grow in your career, please support us by liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on our channel. So with this, let me quickly introduce our guest. So today we have a very special guest called Indwin. He's joining us from Chennai. So I have known him for almost like 2-3 months now. So we have spoken a couple of times. He's a very respectable person. So he has lots and lots of inputs, lots of experience as well. He's currently working as a senior manager in people development in Anubhav. So with this, I would like to welcome you. We're really grateful to have you in our podcast, and thank you so much for your time as well. So over to you, sir. Why don't you quickly brief a little bit about yourself?
Thanks, Profula, for that vibrant introduction. I come with 15 years of experience.
Okay.
Different. My name is Indwin. Actually, I'll start from my story. So
Yes.
when my mother was conceived, my dad and mom had this conversation saying, if a boy is born, we'll have the combination from my parents' name. So if a boy is born, from my mother's name, the combination will come. And if a girl is expected, then my dad's name would be used. So my mother's name is Indra, so IND, and my
Okay.
dad's name is Edwin. Win. So that's the combination.
Okay.
So that's the unique about my name. And people have a challenge pronouncing it. So I usually take it like in Indwin. It's very difficult for a lot of people. And then I usually tell my close friends and everybody will call me by Joel because it's very easy to say for them.
Yes.
That's about the name. And born in Nagarkoil, and that's Kanyakumari. That's now the southernmost tip of India. With our tsunami hitting, we had Port Blair and as the southernmost tip. After the tsunami, now Kanyakumari is the southernmost tip.
Okay.
So born in Nagarkoil, but brought up in Delhi and Mumbai. So
Okay.
a lot of people have a challenge understanding my diversity because my dad was with the government services. So a diverse, and I feel privileged to have that kind of an exposure at the beginning to understand how people behave.
Yes.
Because you are a South Indian and you're staying in the North India and then in the West, it's a diversified community and it's a cosmopolitan, and you get to know friends. And
Yes.
your initial life is what takes you how you are grounded or how you are being upscaling or upskilling, whatever be the thing, but it's your basics what always keeps you going. So my basics come from the roots where I have did my schooling, so Delhi and Mumbai, and then that's a long journey.
Okay.
Actually.
Sure. So thank you so much for explaining about your name. It's a very unique name, but thank you for sharing the brief and detail about the combination. Definitely, it's a very perfect name from your dad and your mom combination name. So great initiative from their end as well. Where you're born. And can you brief a little bit?
So Nagarkoil is a town. It's a vibrant town in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
So Kanyakumari is the district.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the unique thing is actually Nagarkoil was part of Kerala.
Okay.
And you have another city, I'm not remembering the name, but they were part of Tamil Nadu. So they are
Okay.
swiped in. So if you look
Okay.
at my ancestors, they would be from the Kerala, from the Malayalam community. And if I look at my parents, my dad can read and write Malayalam. I can't because I'm born in the state. And if you look at the diversification, it's a very vibrant state. A lot of people will be there, a highly educated community. A lot of people will be looking at having their own entrepreneurship journey because they would be, you'll have every nook and corner a great shop or something. And people like to be brought up and being, when you are brought up in a tier 1 city and you're going back to your roots, I feel the warmth and the cultural connectivity because
Okay.
you have your relatives taking care of everything for you. So it's like a pampered relationship when you go and
Yes,
visit your
yes.
family. That's in short. And you will have mix of culture.
Okay.
If you look at South India, you will have like Kerala, Andhra
Yes,
Pradesh,
yes,
Telangana,
yes,
you have
yes.
Karnataka, you have Tamil Nadu. Being brought up in North and West, my Tamil will not be that great when you communicate. So people do find out I'm not a native Tamil speaking person. But
Okay.
when I converse with somebody in Hindi, they look at like, okay, you are a South Indian. How do you speak a great Hindi? So
Yes, of
that's
course.
the
When you were
challenge.
talking to me in Hindi, you were so much fluent. You were
My Hindi
much
is
comfortable.
still better, and I feel more comfortable because I've learned it like it comes by flow. For me,
Okay.
Hindi comes as naturally. But for Tamil, I used to interact with my parents and my relatives. So even now, I can interact in 6 languages: English, Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, Marathi, and I'll understand bits and bytes of Telugu. So English, Hindi, and Marathi, I can read and write and speak. But for Malayalam and Tamil and Telugu, I can only speak. I can't read and I can't write up.
Great. So thank you so much for the detailed brief. So regarding your schooling, you have mentioned that you have done in Delhi and Mumbai and other places. So what kind of education background you had? Was it into any specific, you knew from your younger age that you wanted to be an HR, or was it all of a sudden you were on the flow and suddenly something happened? What exactly is the story behind?
That podcast will become 2 podcasts then. Okay. So my dad had joined Kalpakam as a trainee. Okay. So as a trainee, he had joined and then he was shifted to Kota for his training. So after his training, he was deputed at Narora is part of UP and it comes under Bulandshahr district. So my initial, my KG, my young vibrant Indwin was from UP.
Okay.
Narora, and my KG to my 6th standard, few months, I was there in Narora. So it's a CBSE school, like it's a
Okay.
government school. So schooling was great. I respect my dad's job because that has brought in the culture and the communication. The Hindi is
Yes,
because
yes.
I was born in Aurel but brought up being in North and in West. So a CBSE schooling over there, you have Hindi. So my only communication was with my parents, and I used to have a challenge when I go to native in Tamil Nadu. I'll start mixing up the Tamil, and I'll forget my Hindi. And once I go to Narora, I'll have a challenge 2 3 days because my Tamil will be coming in.
Yeah,
My Hindi
yeah.
will not come in as a flow. So schooling over there till 6. And then my father had not joined Narora. It's a Narora Atomic Power Station. So it's a thermal power station. So they
Okay.
had converted into a nuclear power station as well. So NAPS was brought up under NPCL, Nuclear Power Corporation of India. So all employees had an option. Do you want to stick to NPCL or do you want to stay with the Department of Atomic Energy?
Okay.
So my dad
Okay.
didn't join because NPCL is like a government and a corporate entity. You have a profitability over there. But
Yes.
he remains as a part of the government initiative. So he
Okay.
didn't join that. So he was shifted to Baba Atomic Research Center, Mumbai, the head
Okay.
office for Department of Atomic Energy. So
Okay.
from sixth few months over there, shifting over to Mumbai. So it was a heartbreak for me. All your friends from your childhood, you're losing them and you're going over here. To my 12th, I was in Mumbai. So
Okay.
6th to 10th, it was a CBSE schooling over there. And when I completed my 10th in 2004, so at that juncture, we didn't have a CBSE 12th standard over there in
Okay.
Anushakti Nagar. That's the township we have in BRC. It's a very vibrant township. You don't have any power cuts. You don't have so that's a great one because of my dad's working over there. So at 11th and 12th, we had the state board, so Maharashtra state board. So and I learned Marathi from my 7th, 8th, and 6th, 7th, 8th. We had Marathi as our third language.
Marathi. Okay.
So the dialogue is like the same, like your Hindi. The script is like the same, but your spoken becomes changed.
Yes.
Like you'll have
Yes.
the slang and everything, but I'll not have the slang. So when people interact with me in Marathi, they'll understand he's not a native speaker. That is that, but I can communicate. And due to my schooling over there in Narora and in Mumbai and this vibrancy, I always had a connect with the people because the more languages you know, it's become very easy to communicate.
Connect. Yeah.
And when you speak to a person in their mother tongue, they feel so much warmth.
So
I
bonded
have
as well. Happy.
I have somebody who can interact with me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are not part of that place, and you go to a new place, and you have somebody who's coming to you and speaking your own mother tongue. It's like so that's one people connect. And another advantage I had was I was the youngest one from my dad's set of community, his batchmates, the
Okay.
youngest kid in that batch. So a lot of grooming from the seniors, my dad's age people.
Yes.
So they
Yes.
used to take care of me for cricket playing or sports and this and that. So I take the lot of maturity coming into me was from interactions from those seniors, my uncles and aunts over there. So it was like a community, and they used to give you left hand,
Yes. Yeah.
and then the teaching was also there.
Yes. One common thing what I felt. So I'm from Assam. In Assam we speak Assamese. So but my mother tongue, I am a civil tribe. In Assam there are many tribes. So I belong to a tribal community, right? So there we have our own sets of language
Alex,
as well,
yes,
right? So
yes.
when I go to my hometown now, I tend to forget like which language to communicate. Do I need to talk in Assamese? Do I need to talk in Deuri is the tribe we
Dialect.
belong
Okay,
to,
okay.
and because of that my surname is Deuri, and they have their own language, and I try to communicate. And when I go home, same like you, people judge that he is not from here, he's the outsider,
He
right?
may be from here, but he has gone out from the hive and he's
Yeah,
back.
and similar happened for Assamese language also. My Assamese is not fluent. I feel so comfortable in Hindi now that I'm very good. And English, so anyways, we have to speak in office or and during the education time in college and all. Other thing which I can connect with you is like 2004. You mentioned 10th.
My 10th, yes.
Same year, I have passed out from my 10th. So definitely we are connected in that way as well.
That
So only one question which I have is. So I did my throughout KG to 10th in one school, but I also had many friends whose parents were from government service. They shifted a couple of years, they will stay, then they move. So we create a bond, but it was all of a sudden and they go back, right? So how was for you difficult to connect that bond with the students or friends, and again all of a sudden everything vanished and you have to start all over again?
when I was shifting from Narora to Mumbai, it was 99.
Okay.
At that time, there was not the Facebook and Orkut.
Yes,
That nothing
yeah,
was there.
yeah, yeah.
So it was just letters or communications. So everybody's number was also not there because mobile
Yeah.
was not so
Mobile
vibrant.
was or telephone was also very less, I
Very
would
less.
say. Yeah.
You will have only the MTNL or the BSNL
Yeah,
phone.
yeah,
The
yeah.
landline phone would be there. So it was like a breakdown, the entire collapse of breakdown, and it's like you start fresh and go and meet new friends. So that
Okay,
was the thing
okay.
for me. But when 2006, when I was passing out, that like 2004 to 2006, we had the Orkut thing.
Yes,
The
the
Orkut thing was
thing
there.
first. Yeah,
Before the
yeah, yeah.
Facebook, the Orkut was the thing.
Orkut thing was there, yeah.
Orkuting was there. So that we had connected, and I got back all my friends from my schooling.
Okay.
So now Orkut was the tiebreaker for me to connect with all my friends back from Narora.
Okay.
Few of
Nice.
them had come back to Mumbai with their dad transferring into Mumbai, and few had come to like Kalpakam in Chennai and everything. So there was a connect. There's like a hi and bye thing used to go on in Orkuting and everything. It was that. But the next change which had come into my life was 2006, the 12th.
Okay.
10th, I had scored 87.5%, a good percentage, and in 12th, I scored only 20 or 23%.
Okay.
That's a shift. See, you tend to enjoy your 12th.
Yes, after 10 to everyone enjoy.
So, see, the takeaway to the people who would listen to is because that's not the end. You can always come up in life. Only thing is you should be agile and take it up. Take it as a challenge. See, I had my mindset was like after 10th, I fought with my parents and said I'll go for science background because I want to go into the medicine line.
Okay.
My thing was like an engineer will create only an hospital, but you require a doctor who can treat.
Yes.
So empathy was part of my upbringing and cultural things. So I always feel I can connect with people at a higher realm, and they also feel comfortable sharing your personal things.
Yes.
See, it's the comfort you give to them.
Yeah.
That was there because I had a lot of friends and connect with them, help them across. That was my nature. So I thought, okay, medicine line would be the great line to go about. So I had tried for that, and I could not get a break into a medical seat because of 5 marks.
Okay.
The cutoff for a government seat was by 5 marks, and I know my family background. They will not be able to pay for a payment seat.
Yeah.
Management seat becomes difficult. So I thought, okay, let me go for a BSc or something. That's what my plan then shift. But being the first adult, the first kid in the family, my dad and parent, my mom was like, "Boss, you're not doing anything over here. Let's look at what can be done best." So because of my science thing, my score for CET score for engineering was less. So it will take some time for me to get the counseling and get a seat. So all the great engineering colleges will get over. So my parents were like, "Are you okay if you put you for a boarding thing for in the native?" So I was like, do I have a choice? I don't have a choice. So I went back to Tirunelveli. That's another vibrant city in Tamil Nadu. It's like from my Nagarkoil to Tirunelveli, you have like 1 hour or 1.5 hour journey. So I did my engineering from 2006 to 2010 in Tirunelveli, my native. So it's a transformational journey, I'll say. Why? Because you are again shifted culturally from a west kind of a vibrant Mumbai. You're going to a city which is, there is no, like, Mumbai is like a city where it's going on and on. The city never sleeps. It's a city, I'll say it's a town or it's a vibrant place where you sleep by 7 o'clock, it's dull and dusted. Everyone has to go for a sleep. So coming from a culture where it is always vibrant and open to a culture where you need to shut down everything. So that was the thing. And the 4 years, I'll not say it was a torture, but it was a place where I could connect with the nature. I could connect with my parents more. I could understand a lot of things more when I did my engineering from my native, because culturally there's a shift. Then I don't know what my parents were earning, but there was a dependency, like every week or every month, the college will ask for like, there's this payment, that payment, and I have to call back my parents and say, I need funds. So I started valuing money.
Yes.
Like, see, I have a younger brother also, so my dad has to take care of their expenses. My brother is also there. I'm studying over here. So I started cutting down my unwanted expenses. So a little bit of financial planning had come in at 2006 to 2010 itself, saying, boss, you have parents, they're ready to give you out, but they're cutting down something for them. So let's start looking at money as a value, which you need to use it very wisely. So money management had tucked in. And then already connecting with my dad's community, his friends and everything, I was a little bit of more mature. But now going into an environment where you need to take care of your own things, a little more maturity. At home, it is like you don't like the food, you tell your mom, I'm not eating. And then what you like comes into your platter. Over here in hostel, you don't get. You have a fixed menu, you eat, you don't eat. Or you don't eat. So at home, I used to get Boost or Milo. That was a vibrant energy drink when we were.
Yes.
And you shifting into Tirunelveli, you don't have Milo, you don't have milk, nothing. You have either tea or coffee. So the first 6 months, it was a struggle. The first 6 months, I didn't take. I didn't take. And in the end, it was like, boss, you have to adapt. You have to change. So I started taking tea. So now it is like we go to office, 6 or 7 cups of tea goes like anything. It's the normal thing now.
Again, one more thing which I can connect is like even after my 12, I dropped 1 year. So because of that, I started my BTech in 2007 to 11. So I and because of that time, again the communication, the later I gave AHP exam and other government exam entrance tests and all. I got the counseling later, very late when the counseling is over. So I thought that अगर इस बार हुआ है कुछ चांस है कि next time कर ही लेंगे, but next time के लिए तो और भी कुछ incident था भगवान ने लिखा. But somehow same like you, my parents told that don't waste this year. After wasting already 1 year, don't waste another year. Go for it. We will put you in private because your ranking is somehow good. No need to wait for government. At least private also you will get in it without paying the donation and other stuff as well. So I studied, and there also I learned multiple things. Even college used to fund a couple of bucks here and there and all those things, teaching the young students and all those things. So somehow I was trying to do from that angle. Saving wise, I was not very good, to be very honest. Money problem was there for me as well, like quite often, because even my dad had, my sister was there, and everywhere it's like we don't get hi-fi kind of package what people get now.
So another thing is valuing my parents become critical for me, because I started feeling the hurt, like how many things I've done wrong and how they have taken care of me, and now you don't have anybody. You have to sit and cry at the hostel. And that those scary nights you sleeping alone was like, my God, let me finish this engineering and go back.
How was your hostel life?
Okay, so my parents, what they did was that college which I studied, it's called as PSN College of Engineering and Technology. So few of my family members, like my cousins, had already studied over there. So I had one cousin sister who was in the third year. When I joined the first year, she was in the third year. She was in electronics and electrical and electronics. I had one triple E, and I had one cousin who was studying, who was in the second year. He was into aeronautical engineering. Okay. So when I was brought in, I was given an option. IT was there, CSE was there, and then Triple E was there, and DC was there.
And
Electronics and communication. So I
Yes.
am an electronics and communication engineer.
I'm from IT.
Super. I understood was you sitting in front of a laptop, chit chatting with your friends. That's another story. You sitting in front of a system and coding is not my cup of tea. I understood that when the engineering came, I understood that. But in IT, I was keen on like the hardware thing. The networking and thing was kind of easy. But then I thought, वो कैसे भी कर लेंगे यार, क्यों वो पढ़ना? You do after engineering, you do some CCNA course or something, and
Yes,
those
yes,
time
yes.
those CCNA courses, Red Hat courses were the
Popular
great
from
courses,
same
very popular. So I thought that can be done. So let's avoid that. Let's look at EC. So EC was done, and another challenge I faced was you have people now. Students were there from Kerala. You had students from Tamil Nadu. So I became like in between guy who is from the western part of India, who knows Hindi and everything. So I was like the pet for the teachers.
Okay.
Because you call for any event, I'm there ready. Let's go. You can do the anchoring. I can take care of the PPT. I can take care of like any video presentation. From that time itself, I started taking part in this kind of cultural activities because I also dance. So
Okay.
from the schooling and everything, dance and this thing was there. But my parents were like little strict on saying, "Boss, tu padh le pehla, baki rest of things you can do." So
Basically.
till sixth, it was like more of first rank, second rank, those kind of things. 6 and 7 onwards, you have the bad influence. Very good friends. I'll say very good friends who teach you life. So I started indulging in sports after my 6th and 7th. So I'm a good output and discuss state level in the CBSE in my schooling and everything that is there. So I used to go for relay and everything. So in the college also, I took part and we used to have fights with our seniors and things. And you asked about the hostel life. So bringing all these things. So my senior, the third year I had a senior who's my relative. Second year I had a senior. Then I'm in the first year. And what my parents had done is there were different hostels. I came to know the hostel which was there for EC, the general engineering people. It was little less costly and the food was not that vibrant because you have aeronautical and marine. Their hostel was a little more vibrant because they have to maintain the standard as per DGC norms.
Yes.
So my parents made a point to shift me over there, and I was the only person at that time from ECE in that hostel. So like a spoiled guy over there, and you have your seniors and everything. So that was I was ragged by people, but I like that because there was an interaction to interact with the seniors, and those seniors were also
That's a
like,
good feeling also. It's not so bad as well. It's just like
it's
normal
not
interaction.
it's not ragging per se. It's like how you and me are
Knowing
interacting
better.
now and knowing better. That's the way.
Yes,
And
yes.
another challenge I faced in my college was the language thing. Because teachers used to take in Tamil and mix and match because you had people coming from the vernacular medium, the Tamil people who had done their 12th in Tamil and they're shifting into English. So it was a challenge. So I used to catch hold of all the teachers during the breaks. Boss, you tell me what is the concept, let me go through it. I'll study on my own. That's okay.
Okay.
And another fight we used to have was I was the guy who can understand Malayalam. I was the guy who can understand Tamil. There were Tamil students who had come by not by payment management quota, but by the counseling thing. For
Okay.
them, the fees was very less. So you
Okay.
study or not, that is okay because they have a family that is there. You have the Malayalam students who had paid a ransom to get into the college. Okay, there also you will have people who don't want to study; they want to enjoy. And I was like, boss, I know I didn't study well in my 12th. I need to study and go back. So I was like, I'll focus on the studies. I'll enjoy the activities and everything, but I still in my back of my mind it will be like, I need to finish with great marks so that I need to take care. I have a younger brother, so okay, let me start supporting my parents. So that was in the back of my mind. So I used to study well, a little bit more. I used to put in efforts, and I'll have always fight with the Tamil and the Malayalam guys saying, "Boss, you're doing all." And in our hostel, another challenge was I watch. I've gone to theaters and watch movies and everything because my parents used to take. When I'm there in Mumbai, I have not visited. I visited in Mumbai after my marriage only. I had gone to a theater and watched a movie with my wife and my parents. But in Chennai, whenever I go to Nagpur, my dad used to take us to theater and we used to have the theater experience. It was not like that theater experience which our parents would have done, but we'll have like a decent one where we don't shout and everything.
Yes.
And here, when you have the Malayali guys and the Tamil guys, there's always a fight between which channel to be put in the thing.
Okay.
And we used to have a TV. I used to fight with everyone on a Sunday because Sunday 7 to 8 you have Rangoli. You get 4 Hindi songs.
Yes,
so those
yes,
were my
yes.
lifelines during my 4 years. Those
Okay,
were the lifelines.
okay.
I used to fight with the seniors. Given the road 7 to 8, we want Rangoli because we used to get to a Hindi song or something. So that was one of the lifeline I used to have. And then we all students put up money and got a DVD player. And then the fight used to be should a Malayalam movie to be put or a Tamil movie to be put. And if you put a Tamil movie, there's a still fight. Do you want to put a movie of Mr. Actor Vijay or do you want to put a of actor Ajit? You have Talaivar, Ilay Tala, that was the title given to Vijay, and you have Tala. So there was a fight between the Tamil community itself, whose CD has to be put in for the movie. When you take Malayalam, you have a fight between Mammootty and Mohanlal, whose CD has to be put in.
So how come you ended up in HR after engineering?
Okay, so after engineering, I passed out in 2010. There's a backstory to that also. In 2010, I have passed out, but I got in my 7th semester, I got a drop in the sense one paper got flunked. That was DSP, digital signal processing.
That was
the toughest one.
Yeah.
I think they could have passed me, but they didn't pass me, so it was flunked. And in the 8th semester, I had to write that as a part of the backlog. And in 8th semester, when the result is coming, I got only my project as pass. Rest of the paper as flunk. I was like heartbroken. Oh my God, I need to go back. And then I prayed to the Almighty. My mother also prayed, and I put it for revaluation, the counting and everything. And so the actual results had come in June and July. So I had to put for revaluation, and I got my results by September only. So already there is a delayed one. So 2010 में आप pass कर लिए. By September, you have your revisited results saying because you have cleared everything.
थोड़ा सा उल्टा हुआ था. फर्स्ट ईयर एंड सेकंड ईयर में मेरा काफी सारा बैकलॉग्स थे. फर्स्ट ईयर में ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 2-3 था. सेकंड ईयर में एक या दो था बैकलॉग। अगेन दोस वेयर आई थिंक एक तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स
मैक्स रहेगा।
आई वाज गुड ओनली इन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स। मेरा एक इलेक्ट्रिकल था, एक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स था। इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स वाले पे मेरा लग गया था पहला, और एक दो सब्जेक्ट था, बट समहाउ आई क्लियर्ड बिफोर एंटरिंग इनटू लाइक थर्ड ईयर एंड फोर्थ ईयर। तो फोर्थ ईयर तक मेरा सब कुछ निकल गया था, तो उस टाइम तक मैं सीधा हो
मेरा
गया।
सब क्लियर, ऑल
अच्छा,
क्लियर, सब फोर्थ ईयर में जाके तुम
होता है। सो
life is like that.
एचआर में कैसे घुसे फिर?
So September, I got all my clearance. So already placed. Our college didn't have a placement, and our chairman told me, Dr. P. Soimbo, he's a very gem of a person. So he said, "Do you want to stay into the college? I'll sponsor your PhD and everything." So I said to him, "Sir, I'll come back to the college after 20 years or 30 years of my experience, because I had a challenge because the faculties were not groomed in to see the real life challenge. We faced a challenge. If I come to the college as a faculty or something, I'll come back after 20 years or 30 years of experience. So that knowledge will be there for those young engineers."
Okay.
So I said, I'm not taking up a job with the college I studied. So I came back to Mumbai. So in June itself, I have come to Mumbai. My degree certificates and everything. My relatives have picked it up and everything, and it has come in. I started facing interviews from September onwards. But I got like June itself, you're sitting at home, your relatives and everybody's like, boss, you passed in engineering. That was a challenge. And then I got my first break in May 2011 only.
Okay.
So June 2010 to May 23rd, 2011.
Almost kind of a
Almost
year.
like 1 year, I was without a job. So I had the shame of like asking my parents when I had to go and meet my friends for the travel thing and everything. I used to feel very bad. And then, but I used to attend a lot of. So in this 1 year, I might have attended more than 3,000 to 4,000 interviews across Mumbai. Okay, so interviews got attended because I was having 75% in my engineering. It was great. So I used to clear all the technical things, electronics, all the basic interviews, HR language, the first interview and everything I'll attend. And so all the interviews will be cleared. During the HR round, the people will come back to me saying, boss, you've done your engineering from Tamil Nadu. So we'll give a preference to a person who's done their engineering from Maharashtra. So I was like, boss, Maharashtra is in India only. Tamil Nadu is also in India only. And you're talking to me after all the 2-3 rounds. The entire day has gone and then you're saying. So I was like, okay, no problem. Let's face it. So I understood diversity per se. We say we are unity in diversity, but I understood it is not unity. It is the split only happening in the thing. So I was like, okay, if they're not choosing me, it's their company's loss. No problem. Let's wait. So 2011, my first job was with Thyrocare.
Okay.
Thyrocare. Now it's a very vibrant thing bought by Pharma Easy. We had gone into IPOs and everything. So what I liked, I had given the interview somewhere in April or May. Not before that, February something. I had gone for there was one Shine event in Mumbai.
Okay.
A group event where they had come in, and then Thyrocare was also one of the people who had come for the recruitment. So I had given my CV to them. They had, we'll get back to you. So in February or March, I had given the CV. By April, something they're calling back saying you're shortlisted for first round of discussion. We'll take it up. So I was interviewed by Dr. AVM, and he was like, "You're clear for the job. You can join." So I was like, "When is the joining?" He said, "The HR team will get back to you."
Okay.
April, this has happened. May only, I'm getting the onboarding things and everything. I'm following with the HR saying, "Boss, where is my offer?" Because that's my first job I'm getting, man. So that was like, एक साल हो गया है, आपको job नहीं मिल रहा है, and you're not done any course or anything.
Yes.
And I was like, "Boss, give me the job," kind of thing. So I tortured the HR like anything, went down and everything. And then I got my first job. So I joined Thyrocare as a lab executive. So you are like, it's the job role of a, if you say from the HR perspective, a niche thing, it's the job role of a biomedical engineer who has to do the maintenance thing. Lab executive, that was the role. And but you are a biomedical engineer because you had a lot of bio instruments over there. So Thyrocare is a diagnostics sector. So we had a lot of instruments, so we need to take care. So we had a lot of engineers with them. So a lot of engineering stuff. Like you have different departments like biochemistry, urinology. नाम सुना ही नहीं था बस. I was very happy when I got the job in Thyrocare because I felt like, okay, medical तो नहीं किया, at least diagnostic sector में तो आगे घुस गए. So it was very nice. What thing had happened is I reported to Mr. M. Chandrasekhar. So he was as a senior manager over there. He had multiple departments. So what I respect about Thyrocare in my first beginning of my career is it's an organization which I was a fresher. They had welcomed me with an open gates, and a manager is so much vibrant person. He had multiple departments under him, like maintenance, utility maintenance. Then he had administration. He had the training part, then the vendor management. So what he had done is he used to put us across to different teams across every month on month is that. And at the starting of your career, you get to interact with so many vendors, so many departments, so many hierarchy things. See, Thyrocare at that time, my employee code I still remember. It is E1182. That was the employee code I had. So we had a lot of 400 to 500 employees at that time of period itself, and we had a personal department over there. So personal, and you had a training department over there. And the personal team is what you get your letters and everything. HR is there, training is there, and the personal. So personal will take care of your comp and pen and everything. And the HR will roll out your offer and everything. You have a training department as well. So from a lab maintenance, if you look at my LinkedIn, I had every people tell me you put what you have, like put a single title what you have done. But I say no. I respect what all titles I have gone through. See, I didn't get those letters. My offer letter is like lab executive or a lab engineer, but then maintenance engineer, then thing and thing. So he also had administration department under him, the facility management under him, the safety thing and everything. I was always like, what you have learned is okay, boss. Let's do something which you have not learned. Let's go into deep dive into it. So that mindset was there because of engineering saying, let's break every problem into a flowchart kind of thing, processing and this thing. Re-engineering was very easy for us because engineering came. So he had put across into different departments. So administration had come into me. So I was the youngest RA at a reporting authority at 22 or 23 years of age, handling 45 staffs under you. You have your
Okay.
housekeeping, you have your transportation. If you split administration department over there at that time, I'll split it like you have a housekeeping team. So you'll have a housekeeping executive who's on the payroll. Then you have external people, 2-3 vendors and their office boys and housekeeping.
Yes.
You have to manage that. So you have a big team over there. You have a canteen management over there because we had a subsidized canteen over there. So you have cooks to be handled. You have a canteen person who will handle the budgetary things, what needs to be purchased, what needs to be done, the cylinder thing, everything. You have a transport team. You had transportation free for our employees, the pick and drop thing from the station, nearby stations to the office. And we and what Dr. Velmani had done is he had bought a lot of flats in Navi Mumbai, Panvel, where our engineers from different parts of the country who are being brought into work over there can stay in those guest house, like the guest thing. You have a HRA deductions, but from there pickup and everything, this transport was there. So you have
Okay.
forced tempo travelers like 6 and 7. Think you need to maintain its hygiene, uske licensing, your what do you say, your PUC things and everything has to be maintained. The petrol filling has to be there. The contract and everything has to be maintained. So, again, housekeeping, your canteen management, your transportation. Then you have your safety management. So my
Okay.
inclination towards fire and safety also drilled from that exposure over there. You have this entire gamut, and then you have the office civil work also being given to us. So
Okay.
any changeover, like the aesthetics things, or you're making a new property things, you will go. Another good thing which happened to me in Thyrocare was we had that time incorporated Nuclear Healthcare Limited. That's the wing of Thyrocare which is into cancer treatment.
Okay.
So we did, me and our a lot of engineers did the groundwork for them with regard to the licensing, the nuclear licensing, interacting with your GE people for the lot of bigger instruments for the nuclear healthcare. All those things, radioisotopes, this and that, licensing with BRC again for the licensing, the radioactive substances, isotron, all the cyclotron, this and that. So entire gamut changeover from a basic engineer into administration thing has happened.
So let's fast forward to current role.
Okay.
अभी के जैसे रोल है, right? जैसे how you have learned from multiple different teams, different departments, and all. How what exactly your role currently is, and how your past learning have shaped you in this particular role and in the success of this particular role.
Okay, I'll deep dive from there. So administration वहाँ पे आ गया. Then I had shifted from there. So first industry is diagnostics. Second industry, I worked as a sales engineer. From administration, I shifted to a medical rep where medical instrumentation, the company is Sanjay Technologies, where I worked as a sales engineer. So I need to take care of some kind of servicing for the medical instruments, and I need to do upskilling, selling over there. So that sales thing also pitched in. उसके बाद वापस like salary was like lesser salary, but incentives were more.
Consulting भी वैसा ही था, consulting पे salary will be less.
His job was that, and then my parents were like, boss, you need to have a bigger salary if you want to look at getting married. So coming to from a consulting kind of like the sales thing, I had to move into administration. So the third job was with Lumen Technologies. It's a IT company based out of US and in India. So in Bombay it was there. So I was part of the facility management over there.
Okay.
From facility management, from there I shifted to executive ship management. So it's a
Okay.
Singapore-based organization with multiple like 16 to 17 branches across in India. So I was part of the administration team over there. So administration and training was the thing. So वहाँ से Goodrich is my first break into the HR role.
Okay.
So maintenance, engineering, administration, training, safety, this and that, vendor management, all those things, and into Goodrich is into logistics, shipping and logistic company. They have they are also across the globe. They have a different entities. Goodrich Logistics, Goodrich Dubai is there, Malaysia is there, everywhere. So we were the central part. So I joined as a HR executive there. From a senior role, I'm shifting into the HR role there.
Yes.
From there, the transition has been into the HR, then the training part, the operation thing, and everything. So my current role with Anubhavam is I had to shift from Mumbai to Chennai in 21 because my better half didn't like Mumbai. So I had to shift into.
Your spouse is from Mumbai.
My spouse is from my native itself, Nagarkoil. It's an arranged marriage. And
Okay.
she was born and brought up in Chennai. So she didn't like
Okay.
the vibrancy of Mumbai. So I
Okay.
had to shift it. I already had that mindset that I need to shift to Tamil Nadu because when my dad retires, I need to shift. So my dad was supposed to retire at 23. So in 21 itself, I had shifted to Chennai. So with my wife and everything, I had shifted. So Anubhavam happened to me in Chennai. So that was the company
Okay.
who gave me a break in Chennai. From there, transition from the HR role everywhere in Mumbai and everything, it was into HR. So in 21, I had come to Chennai, and this was the first company I got a break in. So I'm currently with them from the past 3 years. So when I joined, I had to look at the entire gamut of HR. So like recruitment and the operation, the onboarding, offboarding, everything has to be handled. Now we had brought in different team members, and there is a BAU, like business as usual for the thing. So currently at my role over here, I need to handle like operation BP kind of a role where onboarding, your BGV, your offboarding is also there. Your performance manager has to be taken care. Then your 30 days, 60 days, 90 days kind of a surveys, your pulse surveys, your event
Yes.
management
Yes.
for
Yes.
the employee engagement, your compliance thing, bit of a compliance thing.
So how big is the team? Like, is it the HR team is like how big is the team?
We are like 4 recruiters. You have how is the thing is like I'm designated as a senior manager people development. I have one more colleague, Mr. Satish. He's as a senior manager HR. So he's part of the recruitment team. We have senior recruiters and junior recruiters. So he and I used to report directly to our director, our
Director.
CEO, and our director operations. To bring in more compliance, we have got one more person, Miss Neetu. She has joined us as general manager HR. So
Okay.
we have a
Okay.
functional reporting to her as well. So I report to
Okay.
directly to our founder and CEO and our director operation, and I also have a functional reporting to this
Functional dotted line kind of.
dotted line kind of thing. It's great. Bifurcations are brought in, and we have things going great over here.
Yes. So after hearing your journey, right, you have a diverse background from your childhood, plus you have a diverse background within your professional journey as well, right? So what is one of the biggest challenge you have seen in your life?
My biggest challenge was like I'll tell you the HR transformation. The journey was the biggest transition from a technical role in Thyrocare itself. From a technical role, you're shifting into a management consulting kind of a role, administration, vendor management. So that shift was a big challenge for me. And then what challenge I had done is I got married in 2016. Okay. In 2018, before the COVID, I and my wife had decided let's go for upgradation. She's already an MSc mathematics postgraduate,
Okay.
so she liked the teaching job. So I said let's look at if she can enroll in Mumbai itself. If not,
Okay.
we'll look at. So when I looked for admissions for her, the Mumbai admissions got over. So I had
Okay.
one choice was she can do it from the native.
Okay.
Because I quit my job, my full-time job, and then I did my MBA in the part-time MBA in HR from University of Mumbai under Wellinger College. I
Okay.
took that leap of faith, the biggest risk I'll say. Without a full-time job, you have a family to feed, you have a young kid at home, and then my father-in-law was also diagnosed with cancer. So without a full-time job, I need to take care of this, all those things. That's the biggest challenge I had taken. The 3 years. So I used to, in those 3 years, I had worked with like Anade Foundation. It's an NGO, which is a CSR wing of Aegis Logistics.
Okay.
Then I had worked with iamarecruitercommunity. It is a manufacturing setup where I was as a HR consultant. So bringing in HR policies and everything was there. Then I also worked with CDC, that is Central Diagnostic Clinic. So they were into healthcare domain. Then I also worked as a professor, as a part-time professor with Maharashtra Institute of Science and Technology. So that was a diverse, like 18 to 21. I had taken a full-time off from the full-time job and into consulting role, kind of a self-actualization journey or self-realization. So those were the period wherein I took the entire risk. Like I need to take care of family, so I will ensure every month I get the salary which will take care of them. I was with my parents, so मिल जाएगा. The travel thing I need to take care. So whichever job I took in the consulting role, I made a point. You have to give me a salary and my per DA, the daily allowance kind of thing you need to give me. So my travel was also taken care of.
Yes. Okay. And so since today in the community we have like many different recruiters, many people take very calculated risk. People afraid to take risk. Since you have already taken fate of leave and taken a big risk in your life as well, what advice you have to our recruiter friend or our HR friends in the community?
When I started my journey with Thyrocare, it was around 7,500 to 8,000. That was my salary. In 18, I was around like 30 to 40,000 salary. See, I have seen 7,000 to 30 to 40,000 salary. Then going to zero. Are you ready to take the risk, the leap of faith? That is one thing. So I taken that risk. So it was for me like, "Piche aur koi nahi ja sakte." This is the least down you can go.
Yes.
So
Yes.
my advice to all the community members is what Dr. AVM used to tell in our we used to have RA meetings, reporting authority meetings. So he had imbibed that culture. The more the risk you take, the more you can grow. So whenever I'm going to any school or any college or something for a guest lecture, I tell to them this: you study, that is okay. So how many problems you solve, that defines your salary. If you solve a single problem, you get a lesser salary. If you have multiple problems you can solve, you get a bigger salary. So start looking at providing solutions for problems at a very holistic way. Don't approach it like a short-term problem approach. Do a complete, because of our engineering, it comes naturally for us saying, let's do a root cause analysis and look at giving a solution. So take more challenges in your life, because this is the only life you have. The more
Yes.
risk you
Yes.
take, the more upskill you can become. Another
Totally
thing
agree.
is, you have only two options. One is either you decide or you discuss. If you have decided, you can go for it. Nothing is going to stop. If you keep
Yes.
on discussing, it's only in the nutshell of
Only
discussion.
discussing only, nothing is going to happen. Yes.
And
I have heard this thing in one of the video as well.
Dr. AVM's thing as embodied
Yes,
in
yes,
us.
Dr. Aviam,
Dr.
he is
Aviam.
very inspirational, like very good motivational speaker kind of things as well, right? Whenever he speaks, you
He
get a
tells
goosebump
his,
as well, right?
he tells his jargons, and being reporting to him and Mr. Chandrasekhar, we were all in that same vibe. So that entrepreneurship journey has started from there, from my first organization itself, because he had taken that risk, and we have seen that risk. So that was
Yes.
one thing. And then what Ratan Tata ji had told us, you don't take decisions. Once you've taken the decisions, make those decisions as. So I also believe in that. Decision ले लिया है, ठीक है boss. Now let's work for making it.
Yes, I totally agree. अगर कुछ डिसीजन लिया है तो you have to act upon it, right? अगर लाइफ में रिस्क नहीं लिया है तो कुछ नहीं हो सका. One of the biggest risks what I took in my life is जब मैंने MBA के बाद मुझे सेल्स का जॉब लगा था. That was kind of 4.5 लाख का पैकेज मिला था. I quit that job within 6 months क्योंकि सेल्स was not my cup of tea. मुझे कुछ मजा नहीं आ रहा था. मैंने HR ज्वाइन कर लिया जहाँ पे पैकेज was just 2 point something, right? Which was less than half and all, right? And वहाँ पे 1 साल करके फिर मुझे एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर रोल था, बट विद एन MNC एडोबी के साथ. तो मैंने वहाँ पे भी एक रिस्क लिया कि अगर लाइफ में कुछ करना है तो रिस्क तो बनता ही है, right? So and because of those risks, I think life has been so good so far, and definitely I have the potential and more capability of taking more bigger risk as well. And one of the risk, I would say, I'm trying to solve one of the bigger problem by creating this community as well. So this is I wanted to share as well. Good to know. So how do you see this particular community? I'm a recruiter community, and how we can solve the bigger problem of HR as well as recruitment?
I'll not be the person to give an answer to that because
No, just your thought
no,
process.
I'll tell you why. Because I've not come from the traditional HR thing, recruitment thing. I also face a challenge with regard to talent acquisition and everything. So when I heard the community name, I'm a recruiter, I was very happy. Okay, boss, naya community hai. Let's learn something which I don't know. That was the first inspiration for me to look at the community saying, I'm a recruiter means it's going to talk about recruitment, which I don't know. Let's connect and let's start learning. So the
Yes,
name itself
yes.
was a great vibrant for me saying, boss, I don't know something. Let's connect with the community and learn. And our community, what you have done is there are a lot of been like events, like industrial connects. There have been a lot of podcasts from the experts. So I go to each one of them and start looking at their learnings. What I told at the previous our discussion, like I had interacted with a lot of my dad's counterparts. So that's a knowledge which I have got it for free. So
Yes.
I look at every community where you can go and learn.
That's
But
true.
I also
That's
look
true.
at the community. Let's participate in a lot of events with them also because you can't always take. You have
Yes,
to give
yes,
back.
yes. Totally agree.
And that has been the motto of a lot of communities is giving back to the
Society, yes. And if you truly say, there are very few people who believe in giving back as well. In community, you will have thousands of people, but not all thousand feel comfortable giving back to the society.
that comes from my hunch in the same 2010 to 2011 without job tha. I was without a job. So I understood you have a great education, you have great marks, but when your time is not, it will not come. So you'll have to wait. So patience is very critical. And how you face those moments in the down moments in your life is what gives you a jet speed to go to the next level. That's what I
Yes,
have
yes,
always believed.
yes.
If something is stopping you, it's not stopping you. It's preparing you for something greater, something bigger.
So,
It's like, yeah,
while you were talking, I recall about that example of three balls from the top. One will go straight, one in the curve, one more curved line. The more curved line will go much faster compared to the other two. But it is delaying the process, but it will reach the goal much faster and in much bigger speed, I would say.
the impact is more.
Yes,
You
yes.
will have multiple ways to reach where you want to reach. It's the
Yeah.
choices you make,
Yes,
and those choices come from our upbringing, the
that's
diverse
true.
upbringing we have. And I always feel a HR person coming from different places of experience, the people interactions, then it becomes very easy for him to connect. And what
Yeah.
I feel, HR human person who is looking at any person's either making or breaking his life. So it becomes to me saying, boss, let's not break somebody's life. Let's create a value addition. That's what I look at it. And I
Sure.
always fight with my HRs because if they look at my CV ना, वो बोलते हैं भाई तुम्हारे CV में बहुत career breaks हैं, so you have jumped a lot of companies. I say to them, don't look at those things. Look at what value that person can bring in.
Yes.
That
Agree.
that traditional person from the old school, he looks at my CV and says,
And one thing which I have observed after talking to, we are almost 20 time, just a couple of things. What I have observed that most of the HR person who are good or doing good in their career are mostly from BTech background or engineering background, right? So definitely people who believe that after engineering ka job hai, that's not the answer. So there are lots and lots of career opportunity available. Definitely you have to consider a gap hai, and very good opportunity as well to help each other to grow together as well, right?
I'll take it like in HR. See what the mindset is. Anybody can become a HR. That's the mindset.
Yes.
That is great. We want people like that because we want to impact the community. Means we want everyone to be a HR, but he has to be human, empathetic, and cooperative and collaborative.
Yeah.
But now with people coming from diverse backgrounds, we will have a lot of diversity in the HR role itself.
Yes.
If you split the HR department or as a function, if you're coming from a financial background, the BCom and those things, they'll be very good with the numbers. So comp and ben is a role for them.
Yes. Yes.
When you're coming with a person with an engineering and a digital or the data analysis kind of thing, HR analytics or HR analyst, that's a great role for you. Or HRIS, who's coming from an
Yes.
engineering
Yes.
background, HRIS is a vibrant job. You go for
Yeah.
configuration systems and everything that is there. You come from a PA background or anything, you're good with the policies and thing. See, HR is a role, it is very vibrant and you have very functionalities like operations, comp and ben, you have safety, you have compliances, you name it, everything is there. Now, it's up to the HR what kind of a risk he can take, how he is resilient to the adapting things. I'll connect it to Dave Ulrich's model: strategic, employee champion, change agent, administrative. Because administrative, everybody can do. What is the next role you want to go? Either to strategy, employee champion, or a change agent. That's what you need to decide and upskill yourself. And now, with the technology being brought in, when my dad is there, he had worked in a single entity. If you look at my CV, I have jumped. And now, when you're looking at people, you also have a gig economy, and the skill redundancy is also at shortened. You can live long with that skill. Now you need to keep on upskilling. So when an person has to upskill, an employee has to upskill, the HR also needs to upskill. When
Of course, we have to constantly. Okay, great. So before we wind up, like, just wanted to quickly tell our audience that Indwin He's a great leader in HR. He have lots and lots of experience. So he's based out in Chennai. So if you have anything related to HR, or he have lots of in general experience as well. So he have a vibrant experience altogether from different state, different culture background as well. So if you want to talk anything about diverse background, feel free to reach out to him. Plus, he also have a diverse experience from diverse work companies as well. So if you want to connect those way, also he is a great leader to suggest you in terms of career and other options as well. But along with that, we are also coming. I'm Recruiter is coming to Chennai on 21st of December. Our third TA meetup happening. So definitely, we would love to see Indwin one of the panel discussion, or in general, we'll try to plan something out and invite him as a guest. So if you want to meet him, definitely feel free to join us in that meetup as well. And just before winding our call, Indwin, last tips or suggestion for anyone in
General suggestion is accept the change. Don't fight with the change. You bend, you don't break. Be ethical, be empathetic. Bring in governance in what all things you do. Don't change yourself for something. Be yourself.
Yes.
Be human.
Sure. With this, thank you so much, Indwin. It was really nice talking to you, nice knowing about your background, about your culture, about your places you have been, and all those things. And of course, different languages, which you know, 6 different languages, and lots of career discussion we can do. And if any students want to reach out to you, feel free to reach out to you. So thank you once again, and lovely talking to you, and looking forward to see you in our podcast or any other discussion as well.
I would like to
Thank
thank
you.
Praful and the community. Please reach out to Praful for all your recruitment related queries and everything. And this community is very vibrant, and there are a lot of events happening. So please connect and grow.
Sure. Thanks.
Take care, sir.